What's up everybody, this is Teacher Ivan from NextGen Academy. Our goal in this channel is to help you achieve your highest potential and to help you understand subjects in the easiest and the most efficient way. If you'd like to get more tips and tricks on how to achieve A star in your IGCSE, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to this channel. Lastly, if you need any help in your studies, you can always head on to our website, link in the below, or our Instagram, drop us a DM and we'll be able to help you. Enjoy this video and I wish you all the best.
All right. Okay, today we will be going through this paper, October-November 2022, variant 1-1. Okay, so just to a brief, since you all haven't done past year paper in a while. Okay, remember, answer all your questions. Use black or dark blue pen. For graph, don't use pen. Okay, use your HB pencil. Okay, write your name. Okay, all the stuff. Write your answer in the space provided. Okay, don't use erasable pen or correction fluid. You want to cancel, you cancel nicely. Okay, don't scribble the whole paper also. Later the marker, if they see. Okay, they see very messy, they won't want to mark your paper also. Okay, because they are humans. Okay, you should use a calculator where appropriate, meaning if they ask you to not use a calculator, you show the working. Okay, not to say that you don't need to use a calculator or you cannot use. You can use, but you need to show the working. Okay, show all your necessary working. Even if you put in the calculator. Okay, give non-exact numerical answer correct to 3SF. Okay, remember 3SF or 1 dp for angles. Okay, unless the questions specify otherwise. Okay, each paper is 80 marks. Okay, later we'll just see the grade boundary for this. Each paper 1, paper 2 is 80 marks. Remember also, when you all do your revision, don't just do paper 1 to prepare for your paper 1 paper, okay, in your school trial exam and all. There's no such thing as paper 1 or paper 2 type of question. Okay, it's not like maths. Maths is just maths. Okay, it's overall 160 marks, just that it's separated into 2 papers. Okay, got it? Okay, so when you all revise, please also whatever variant you all are doing for your exam in whatever country that you all are doing, don't just do the variant of your country. Okay, you must do all 3 variants for all of it. All right. All these formulas, later I will just go through, maybe I just go through because got so many of new ones. Okay, so some of the formulas you don't have to memorize it. Number 1, this one, quadratic formula. Number 2, binomial theorem. Okay, for those who have done this paper, you all realize that there was one binomial theorem, right? Okay, when do you use this formula? A plus bn, b to the power n. Okay, then a to the power n. This is a normal binomial theorem, right? Okay, however, you have to remember this one. Okay, you have to remember this. When do you use this formula? This n factorial over n minus r factorial. Okay, so you need to know, for finding n, right? You need to know when you have, like let's say x plus 3, then here is n. Okay, meaning in the question itself, when your n is unknown. Okay, n is unknown and they want you to find n. We only use this formula in this scenario. Later, the binomial theorem question, you all will see this one. Okay, then arithmetic series and geometric series, you don't have to memorize the formula. All the formula is given to you. You just need to know how to fit it in. Okay, so this is your a plus n minus 1d. This is your sum. Geometric means your times or divide kind of sequences. Your sum and then your sum to infinity. Okay, then identities. This one don't need to memorize. 100% will be given to you. However, you need to just roughly know when to use this one. Okay, normally when do you use this? When they ask you proving type of question. Okay, or when your trigo has a square. Okay, when your trigo got a square, right, you go refer to this identity to find some clues from here. Okay, then for this one, your triangles, you got sine rule, you got cos rule, and then you got area of triangle. Okay, this one, when do you use? This one normally for your circle theorem. Okay, this is normally for your circle theorem. Sine rule, cos rule, and then area. All right, so make sure you all know how to use all of this formula. If you don't know, need to clarify, just ask me. Okay, let's go. Question 1a. Okay, question 1a. On the axis, sketch the graph y equals to modulus 2x plus 1 and y equals to modulus 5 minus 3x for negative 2 to 8. State the coordinates. Okay, state the coordinates of the point where this graph meet the coordinate axis. Okay, you're gonna remember, right? For you to get full marks for graph, normally what you need to find is this one. You need to show, you all read this word here. You need to show where the graph meet the coordinate axis. Okay, what does that mean? You need to show what is your x and y intercept. You literally need to state the number out. You don't write the number minus 1 mark. Okay, that is how they will test you on. Okay, so what graph is this? We need to determine first. Y equals to modulus 2x plus 1, y equals to modulus 5 minus 3x. We first need to know that these two are a straight line graph because y equals mx plus c, y equals mx plus c, then modulus it, you should know that it should give you a v shape. Okay, because whatever that's negative will become positive. Okay, so what you want to do first, we do the 2x plus 1 first. Whenever you all got a modulus type of question, don't go and calculate the modulus first. Okay, calculate, when you do your calculation, do without the modulus, because if you do with modulus, the calculation, the value will be very confusing for you. Okay, you draw the original graph first, then only you go and reflect it up. Okay, the negative become positive. Okay, so x, y, I'll put it in a table like this. This one you can just type in the calculator. Okay, so you need to find what's your x-intercept, y-intercept. However, for this one, to draw it a bit more accurately, what I'll do is that I will find where is your -2 and 8 also. Okay, because later on you don't know how to really angle it. Okay, so what I'll do is for when x equals to -2 and when x equals to 8, I will calculate the values also. Okay, so these are already calculated. Because of I want to discuss all so we do a bit faster. Okay, I'll start with this -2. You sub in -2, you'll get -3. Then this one you get your x-intercept, you get -1/2. Your y-intercept, you get 0, 1. And then when it's 8, okay, you sub in 8, you get 17. Okay, so these two, you have to remember, these two x-intercept and y-intercept, you have to always show it, regardless of any graph. Okay, whether you're doing quadratic, cubic, sine, cos, tangent, exponential, ln, okay, gotta show it. That's how you all get the marks. Okay, second one. Okay, second one, y equals to -3x plus 5. Okay, we do the same thing again. Go and calculate it. X, y. Okay, we sub in -2, you'll get 11. This one, your y-intercept, you get 0, 5. X-intercept, you get 5/3, 0. And then this one, 8, -19. Okay, so always just recall x-intercept, y equals 0. Y-intercept, x equals 0. This is just one thing that you all have to remember. Okay, for any graph, normally, not always the case, but normally you just need to find x-intercept, y-intercept. Okay, remember the acronym that I taught you also? SIM method. You find your shape first. So just how I did, right? Shape, which is a straight line. Then your intercept. Okay, then in the case, if they ask you to find maximum, minimum point, you also have to show. Okay, so sometimes those kind of question goes up to 3, 4, or 5 marks for a graph. Okay, let's draw the first one first. Y equals to 2x plus 1. So you'll get -2, -3 here. So the graph actually looks something like this. Okay, if I were to, so you see why I draw until the 8 also. Also, don't draw too short, don't draw too long, because they give you the domain of values. They say until 8, right? Okay, so it'll be roughly here. This will be around 8, 17 like that. This is not necessary for you to show, but why I go and calculate this is because later I want to draw correctly the other one. Okay, so this one you get 1. This one you get -0.5 or -1/2. Make sure you show it. And then you're here, -2. Okay, originally it's like that, right? Originally is, okay, I just put the dotted line, the original is -2, -3. So this one will become -2, +3. Okay, so this is the first one. The second graph, y equals to -3x plus 5. So my x-intercept will be 5/3. Okay, 5/3. My y-intercept will be 5. Okay, so you adjust a bit, Okay, so don't use pen when you all do an exam. Okay, so it's something like this, because this one will be 8, 19, right? Okay, so you see, make sure it crosses also. If you don't know this point here, okay, you understand, right? Why I asked you all to find this point? You see, if you don't know this point here, you may draw it at the bottom. Then wrong already. Okay, this one. This was, sorry, teacher count wrong already. 0, 8. Originally, this is like this, going down. Okay, I have to balik already. Okay, then this one 0, 5, like this. Okay, so here will intersect to 5. You have got to show the 5, and then here will be -2, 11. Okay, this one is not necessary to show to get the marks. However, you calculate it to draw it accurately. Don't draw beyond. You draw beyond, minus mark. Here you draw beyond, minus mark. You draw too short, minus mark. Okay, because of this statement here. Okay, sketch the graph from -2 to 8 if you want to get the full marks. Okay, because for markers that are very particular, they will minus your marks like that. Right? Remember, it's still a human that's marking your paper. All right, so this is straight line graph, 3 marks. Okay, let's go to the next one. Question B, solve the equation 2x plus 1 equals to modulus 5 minus 3x. Okay, can you just read from the graph? Cannot, right? Okay, this one cannot, right? Okay, so you gotta solve it. Okay, so there are 2 ways to do it. Either you do plus minus, but I like to do the square one. Okay, so when you got modulus A equals to modulus B, you guys gotta remember, you can do this. A squared equals to B squared. Okay, to solve it. So 2x plus 1 square equals to 5 minus 3x squared. Open up the bracket, you get 4x squared plus 4x plus 1 equals to 25 minus 30x plus 9x squared. Okay, I shift everything to the right hand side. 5x squared minus 34x plus 24. Then I put the equal 0 here. Okay, wait, John. Okay, then this one just use your calculator. Okay, just use your calculator. In exam, okay, whatever you can use calculator, just use calculator. Okay, you all are still the lucky batch that you all can use calculator. Okay, if you use calculator, you will get x equals to 5/4. Okay, anyone don't know how to use calculator now? Just to make sure, especially the new ones. You all know how to type your quadratic equation into calculator? Or no? Okay, so you all gotta remember, if it's a fraction or a decimal that comes out in your calculator, you change it to an improper fraction first, then you multiply the denominator. Okay, don't go and put x minus 5/4. Okay, in terms of the marking scheme, it will be 0 marks for that one. Okay, for the steps. So you need to know how to score the marks. 4x equals to 5. Then this one will be 4x minus 5 equals to 0. This one, x minus 6 equals to 0. Okay, then you just put it in the bracket like that. Sorry, yeah, I put wrong. 5x. This is 4 over 5, not 5 over 4. 4 over 5. My bad. Okay, teacher has been a long day already. Okay, this is 5x minus 4. Okay, so 5x minus 4, x minus 6 equals to 0. Okay, John asks, what if? Okay, so this is one of the possible one. What if modulus A equals to B? Okay, what do you recall? Modulus, if I only got modulus one side. Okay, how do I do it? So you got to remember, for you to open up a modulus, it's actually just plus minus. Okay, plus minus like that. Then you split into two equations. Okay, one is plus A equals to B, one is minus A equals to B. Okay, one thing I want you all to take note, later on, I won't spend so much time on this, but later on, I want you all to know also, if you got modulus, especially for inequality, right, you don't straight away put plus minus to the right hand side. You start from the left hand side like this. Okay, you just follow this rule, you won't get it wrong. Right? How about inequality? Same thing also. Okay, same thing also. How you state the coordinate axis? This is what you learn in year 9. You know how to calculate? Yes, Akil, you're right. So the reason why I teach you all, okay, so this one, A, okay, let's say we got modulus A more than B and modulus A less than B. In your textbook, they ask you to memorize some formula, right? Correct? You all just go back to your textbook. Got a lot of formulas. I can guarantee you, by exam time, right, you'll forget already, because I see so many students always forget this. So to simplify it, right, I teach you all the easy way to do it is you just always start the modulus. The modulus, you just put plus minus like that. You will always get it right. Right? Okay, then you just follow the rules of inequalities. It may be 1 or 2 steps longer, but you won't get it wrong. Because if you go and memorize it, right, this one will be what? A, I think, less than negative B, A more than positive B. To be honest, I also don't memorize it. Okay, because whatever you shouldn't be memorizing, don't go and memorize it. Okay, Hanif asks where the graph meet where? The axis or this graph? The axis. Okay, I ask you, how do you find your x-intercept? Go back to your lower secondary school when you first learned straight line. How do you get your x-intercept? You don't understand what the question wants? Okay, you have to go back to your chapter 1. Chapter 1. Okay, you have to put in a lot of work, Hanif. What the question want? What graph is this? I ask you first, what graph is this? Linear. How to state? You calculate it. Use calculator, calculate it. Your main thing is that you need to find your x-intercept and y-intercept. You see, I did the calculation here. This one I put all in calculator, one by one. Every single point you got to calculate. You do every single one, then you just plot it out. Like how you all did in last time your year 8, year 9 also, when you all first learned straight line equation. Yes, just show the line. But you need to state here the 5 and the 5 over 3. All this is calculated. Right? This one type in your calculator, put into the equation. This one put 0 into the equation, put 0 into the equation. Yes, when it says state means you show it. State the coordinate of the points where the graph meets the coordinate axis. Coordinate axis means your x and y axis. This one, this is where the marks are. You see this 5 over 3, this 1, and this negative 0.5. These are the marks. Okay, so I give you all another acronym for those who didn't hear this before. Whenever you all do graph, normally the guide is like this. We use this SIM method. Okay, this SIM is not from your textbook. This is what I created. S, you need to determine what's the shape first. I, you determine where is your intercept, okay, which is your x and y intercept. M is optional depending on the graph. This is your maximum or minimum point. Okay, sometimes they may ask you to find, like let's say quadratic, right? They may ask you to find where's your turning point. Cubic, sometimes they may ask you also. Okay, if they ask you, then you will need to actually do differentiation. Okay, but for linear one, this one not really, but I actually found the maximum and minimum point. Reason being is because it's this part here. Okay, it's this part here. We love dy over dx. Okay, dy dx love you too. Okay, any more question? Question 1. This is just a 6 marks question. Okay, a lot of things to clarify. So good questions. Okay, hopefully we can finish up by the end of this class. Okay, all good, all good. Okay, no question. Let's move on. Question 2. Right, on the axis, sketch the graph of y equals to 5 sine x over 2 plus 1 from negative 2 pi to 2 pi. Right. This one, everyone take out your calculator. We're going to use the calculator method to solve this. Okay, number 1, right? There are 2 ways that they can ask you all for sketching of trigo graph. They either give you points like this. You all see here, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. Or they will just give you like the above one. Okay, which is they just give you some x and y axis, ask you to sketch out the shape. Okay, when you come to this type, right, when they give you, you need to plot it out specifically where is it, right? Okay, what you want to do, you just take out your calculator. Okay, take out your calculator. Number 1, you need to generally know how the shape is first. Okay, generally, 5 sine x over 2, okay, that means it's a sine graph, right? Okay, you understand what it means? So sine graph, how it looks like? It is like this, right? This is your original sine graph. Okay, if you go until the negative, okay, because this one got negative, so make sure you roughly have an idea how it looks like. Okay, something like this. Okay, we don't know how many periods. This one we just want to know the general shape first. Okay, 5 means it affects your amplitude. Yes, okay, your amplitude. Okay, 2, this one is your period. Okay, then 1. Okay, share with everyone. Okay, don't direct message me. Vector. Vector. This one is called your vertical translation. Okay, vertical translation means the whole graph shift up or shift down by how many positions. Okay, so you need to understand all of these value, what it means. If you don't know, go inside Thinkific, go and watch the Trigo graph section first. Okay, understand fully the concept. All right, for this one, what you want to do, right? All of you draw a table out like this, x and y. Okay, x and y. Okay, you put all the values for your x first. Okay, we are just going to type into calculator. So negative 2 pi, I like to count it in degrees. So I'll just change it to degrees. Okay, this one will be negative 180, negative 90, 0, 90, 180. Okay, so put like this, negative 180, negative 90, 0, 90, 180. All right. If you want to do in pi, make sure you are in the correct mode. Okay, change it to radian mode first. Especially for Trigo, you have to be careful on the mode. Okay, what I want you all to do is, right now, can you all type this equation into your calculator? 5 sine x over 2 plus 1. Okay, you all know how to get your x or not? Anyone not using EX calculator? Anyone not using this calculator? 570 EX. Okay. You love this calculator hack, right? Okay, Hanif, what calculator are you using? Are you using MS? Okay, MS. Okay, this hack, this hack is, okay, MS also can do. But for those who are using EX, I want you all to type 5 sine. Okay, Hanif also can follow this. You type 5 sine. Okay, put a bracket. For MS, you have to bracket. For EX, the bracket will be by itself. I want you all to find X. Okay, type X inside. So for EX calculator, the X is below the on button. Okay. Yeah, sorry, my degree is also wrong. Right? Okay, sorry. Teacher today very blurry. Okay, my bad. Everyone change back. No, you don't have to change to radian if you are calculating it in degree. Okay, so it's up to you. It's just that I prefer to calculate it in degree. Easier for me to process the values in my head. But if you like to put in radian, also can. Okay, press X over 2. Okay, for Hanif, how you get the X? You press Shift. Okay, this for 570 ms. 570 ms. You press to get X, Shift, then you press the close bracket. Okay. Sorry, alpha, not shift. Alpha. Okay, alpha, then you put the close bracket, then you put over 2, then close bracket. Okay, all of you also, then close bracket, then put plus 1. Okay, all got it? Okay, you all should get, I cannot see. Okay, you all should literally get this on your calculator. Okay, this whole equation. Okay, anyone don't know how to do? Type this whole thing, 5 sine, we want to leave it in X. Okay, you can use this for your mathematics also. This method will be very helpful for you all because in maths, if your paper 4 comes out the graph one, and then they ask you to calculate it, just use this method. Okay, we are going to use the CALC button. You all see CALC is on the top left. Okay, for EX calculator is below the alpha button. For MS calculator is below the shift button. Okay, press CALC. Did they right there X equals to something or X equals to 0? Okay, so what we are going to do is we are just going to change the X value. Okay, by using this calculator but a CALC button. Okay, so for those, okay, everyone also can do. Don't press equal first. Just press CALC. For MS calculator, it will come out X question mark. Okay, for EX calculator, you just type X equals to, I think, 0 first. Then now you press negative 360. You press equal. Okay, for EX calculator, you have to press equal twice. Equal, then equal. What do you get? Okay, what does your calculator show you? Okay, everyone follow through. This one will be very important. Okay, very good, Isaac. Okay, did everyone get 1 on your calculator? Okay, 1. Okay, don't press anything first. Okay, don't press anything first. Okay, Atira got it as well. Okay, very good. Right here, 1. Okay, that means right now I am changing my input. When I put my X value is negative 360, I'll get 1. Okay, so instead of keep writing the formula over and over again inside your calculator, we are just going to change the X value. Okay, this will save you a lot of time and it will help you avoid mistake also. Because sometimes you may not put the symbol, the negative and all inside. Okay, now you press again, don't press equal, don't press on, don't reset anything. Press CALC again. Okay, press CALC. Now we change to a negative 180. So CALC, then the X will come out. You press negative 180, you press equals. Okay, what do you get? You all see? Negative 4. Okay, everyone got negative 4? Okay, anyone cannot get? Okay, -4. Okay, repeat for the other three values. Okay, CLC, press 0, equal. Okay, you get 1. CLC, 180 degrees, equal, you get 6. Okay, then CLC, 360, equal, and you get 1. Okay, you should get 1, -4, 1, 6, and 1. Okay, anyone cannot get this? Okay, all good? Okay, so use this method. Okay, you whatever calculator you use, you can process this. Now, plot the points. Okay, so just now Aiden was asking, right? What mode? Up to you lah. Okay, if you put in radian mode, make sure you change the radian mode first, then you put in -2 pi. Yeah, this is a cheat code. You are welcome. Okay, use this for maths also, by the way. Okay, the paper 4 one. Okay, there's a paper 4 question. Okay, go plot out all the points. So here 1, then -4. Okay, your here is -4. Then your here is 0, you get 1. Okay, 180, you get 6. And then 360, you get back to 1 again. Okay, all right. However, even I teach you all this cheat code, right? You still need to know generally how the sign graph look like. This is actually for your maths and MS. You both also need to know one. Trigo graph important. Okay, so we just now know that it's like that, right? We know that our sign graph is something like that. Okay, that means this one go down, go up, go down. Okay, it should give you this shape, the sign graph shape. You don't go and use your ruler, go and connect it. Okay, this one will be wrong. Okay, so just go and connect the dots. This. Okay, try and draw as smooth as you can. Okay, and this is your 3 marks. Okay, how do you get the 3 marks? Number 1, your intercept. Okay, then all your points correct, then your shape correct. Okay, all good? Easy, Is that? Okay, next one. Write down the amplitude of 5 sine x over 2 plus 1. This one, there's no calculation needed. You need to know each value what it represents. Okay, so the number in front of the trigo, that will be your amplitude value. Okay, so it's just 5. This is your amplitude. Okay. Write down the period. Period one, you have to remember the formula. Okay, for sine and cos, what is the formula for period? Period is equals to 360 degrees over b, right? Okay, if they write it like this, a sine bx plus c, the b is this value. Okay, for sine and cos, this is your formula. For tangent, you got to remember is 180 divided by b, because the one period, which is one complete cycle of a tangent, for tangent is 180 degrees. Okay, so we just put into the formula, the b value over here is 1 over 2. Okay, so you just put 360 degrees divided by 1 over 2. Okay, you'll get 720 degrees. Okay, this is when your b is equals to 1 over 2, because we can separate this out, 5 sine 1 over 2 x plus 1. Okay, write down the answer. This one both also acceptable. Okay, both also is acceptable. Yeah, so if you count in radian, you should get 4 pi. Okay, 4 pi. Okay, because they never really specify which unit they want. Okay, question 2, all good? Okay, all good. Let's move on. Okay, question 3. When y cubed is plotted against ln x, a straight line graph is obtained, passing through the points 1, 5, and 6, 15. Find y in terms of x. Okay, when you do this question, I want you all to just put a small sketch out at the side here. Okay, so this is your straight line equation chapter. Put it like this, plot against using the value that they give you, okay, and the points that they give you, so that you are clear on what the question is asking you. Okay, so your y-axis right now is y cubed, your x-axis is ln x. Okay, based on this graph, the points 1, 5, and 6, 15 is plotted. Okay, so we just roughly put like this. 1, 5 will be here, 6, 15 will be here. Okay, and then we connect the dot. Okay, you have to remind yourself, this 1, 5 and this 6, 15 is not x coordinate, y coordinate. Okay, this 1, 5, the points is ln x, comma, y cubed. Okay, because now it is based on these two other x and y. Okay, I call this big X and big Y. If you all hear me in the previous, when we went through some of the previous question, is big Y equals to m big X plus C. So I will exaggerate it. I'll write it like this first. Big Y equals to m big X plus C. Okay, what's the Y and what's the X? The Y over here is y cubed. The X over here is ln x. Okay, we will still follow the fundamentals of a straight line, which is y equals mx plus c. So we'll write it as, now is y cubed equals to m ln x plus c. Okay, so what is your m here? The m you just calculate as normal, because now it is plotted against this ln x and y cubed, but it's still a straight line. So we'll do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. okay, which is 15 minus 5 over 6 minus 1. You get 2. Okay, so I got my y cubed equals to 2 ln x plus c. Right. So the next thing, normally the steps is like this. The first step, you find m first. Okay, this is step 1. Find m. Then you find c. Okay, when you find c that time, this is where students normally get the mistake. Okay, back to this again. Y cubed and ln x. If I want to sub, you can sub any of these points. You can sub 1, 5 or 6, 15. However, you see, why did I ask you to write this down? This is to remind yourself that this 1 is not x. Okay, it's not small x. This 5 is not y, this y here. It's not 5 cubed equals to 2 ln 1 plus c. This is what most students will do. You have to always remind yourself that the x and y that is given to you for this type of question is big X and big Y. That's why always just draw this out. Got it? Okay, draw this out at the side so that you remind yourself on it. Okay, so how to find C? Okay, let's say I want to sub in 1, 5. Okay, sub 1, 5. Okay, so this will be 5 equals to 2 times 1 plus C. Okay, you have to remind yourself, remember, this is ln x y cubed, not x and y, because these 2 points is based on this y cubed against ln x graph. Okay, so find your C. C will be equals to 3. Then we'll get y cubed equals to 2 ln x plus 3. Question says we want to find y in terms of x. So I want to make y as a subject. We cube root the entire equation. So it'll be cube root 2 ln x plus 3. Okay, this is a 4-mark question. Typically, straight line equation, they will ask you like that only. Okay, otherwise they will ask you to find some sort of area. Like.
Teacher, can we use the y minus 1, y1 equals to mx minus x1 the formula?
Can also. Okay, but when you write that, make sure you know what is your y and what is your x. Okay, because if you write that, why I split into like this is to sort of to simplify lah. Because that one in a way, yes, it's the MS formula where you do in one step, right? It's just that when you put into that y minus y1 formula, make sure your y you already change to your y cube. Okay, so it's y cube minus 5 equals to 2 bracket ln x minus 1. Okay, so you just be careful with the y and the x that you submit. How do you get marks here?
I still don't understand why is it like do you have to sub x and y, not ln x y cube?
Okay, because this 1 and 5 is not x and y. You read the question. Y cube is plotted against ln x. Correct? It means now my graph is not x and y. My graph is y cube and ln x. And when I draw the graph out that time, it passes through 1, 5 and 6, 15. This 1, 5 and 6, 15, what is my x and what's my y? Is it x and y? No, right? I call it big X. Big X is ln x right now. Got it?
Yeah.
Then y is actually y cube, not y. Okay? So, so for AdMaths type of question, right? For straight line equation, they will give you like this one. They will never give you x and y lah. Okay, that one is for mathematics. They will give you a different kind of x and y. Okay? So this 1 and 5, because it passes through based on this graph itself. Okay, which is your ln x and y cube.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't know, go watch through the straight line equation there to understand. Okay, I exaggerate that. Okay, I say big Y equals to m big X plus C. Okay, how to get the marks for this one? Mark 1. Okay. Mark 2. 2 and 3, you get your M and your C. And 4th mark. Okay, any more question? Okay, we have 4 marks only. Okay, 4-mark question. All right, let's go to question 4. Do not use a calculator in this question. Okay, so do you follow this instruction? No, you don't follow. Okay, you use calculator. Okay, use calculator to check your answer, but you need to just show your working. Okay, solve the equation cert 5 minus 1x squared minus 2x minus cert 5 plus 1 equals to 0. Giving your answers in the form A plus B cert 5, where A and B are constant. Okay, you need to get used to the type of question that they ask you. Remember, they won't ask you rocket science type of question. AdMath, the language that you use is also always the same one. When they ask you to put it in this form, where you have a cert like this in your final answer and it's one line like this, most likely you need to do rationalizing. Okay, rationalize the denominator. Okay, you just keep this in mind. So you need to get some clues already from the question itself. Right, solve the equation. Then because they say don't use the calculator and they want it, you see, it got cert 5 means this is in also exact value. Okay, is in exact value. So to get the full marks, technically you can actually use your calculator to type in this entire equation. Okay, for those who are using EX calculator, most likely actually the calculator can process for you, right? MS confirm cannot. Okay, EX because they can give you exact values. Okay, so you can always use your calculator to check. However, to solve this, because you want to leave it in this form, you use quadratic formula. Okay, quadratic formula, which is your negative b plus minus cert b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so put it like this: x equals to your b is negative 2 plus minus square root b squared minus 4a. Okay, you be careful over here. You see your c, right? Okay, this is where I think most students will get wrong. There's a negative here. Okay, so don't miss out this negative. So your c is either you open up the bracket for negative, but I wouldn't do that. I will put it like this: negative, then cert 5 plus 1. Okay, you need to multiply by a negative. And over 2a. So 2 cert 5 minus 1. Okay, let's simplify this. 2 plus minus. Let's see what's inside the bracket here. Okay, I will do that negative first. So it become 4 plus 4 cert 5 minus 1 cert 5 plus 1. Okay, why I don't expand the negative inside? Because there's a difference of 2 squares inside here. Okay, difference of 2 squares states that a plus b, a minus b equals to a squared minus b squared. Make sure you all know this for your maths also. Okay, then simplify it further. Okay, you get 4 plus 4, a squared will be 5, b squared will be minus 1. Okay, just show all your working because even if you use your calculator, make sure you all just show it. Okay, then 2 plus minus cert 4, cert 20 first. And 2 cert 5 minus 1. Okay, simplify it further. 20 can be written as cert 4, cert 5. Okay, remember, we need to break it down if one of your factors is a perfect square. Okay, we can write it down like this: cert A, cert B. Okay, we only split this in this way. But if you're not sure, actually, EX calculator, just type inside. I think they'll straight away give you. You see? They'll straight away give you 2 cert 5. So just leverage on your calculator. MS calculator cannot do. So if you want, actually, just go and buy the EX calculator, but you have to take this next 3 months to actually learn it. You can do a lot more with the EX calculator. Okay, then what else? Okay, so 2 plus minus, I just write all the full steps so that you are clear on how to do. So 5 minus 1. Okay, so you see here got 2, 2, 2, right? So this one 1, 1, 1. So this will become 1 plus minus cert 5 over cert 5 minus 1. Okay, so we do until here. Okay, you look back into the question. They say in the form a plus b cert 5, right? That means actually most likely you will reject the negative value already. Okay, because by right, if we do the proper working, you should get both plus and minus. Okay, why they reject the minus? Maybe it just doesn't satisfy the equation. Okay, if they don't ask to justify it or whatever, don't overthink it. Okay, just take the positive value. Okay, but you all just show the plus minus until here. Okay, so how do I do it to one line? We do rationalizing the denominator. Okay, so this one will be cert 5 plus 1. This one cert 5 plus 1. Okay, you multiply. The concept is multiply conjugate certs. Okay, also using this same concept. Okay, multiply the conjugate cert. Okay, so your on top, okay, your numerator, you cross multiply it, you get cert 5 plus 1 plus 5 plus cert 5. I'm only taking the positive one. Okay, then I will get. Sorry, my bad. You shouldn't ignore the negative. I don't think, yeah. Okay, they never mentioned. This for another question. Okay, teacher remember wrong already. I actually wrote the negative. Okay, so we split it up. Yeah, we do the positive one first. So cert 5 plus 1 plus 5 plus cert 5, 5 minus 1. Okay, then you will get this one, you will get 6 plus 2 cert 5 over 4. Okay, divide all of it by 2. Okay, if you don't know how to divide, use this logic. You factorize the top first, the numerator. 3 plus cert 5 like this over 4. You cannot just divide by 1. This is going back to your basics of fraction. Okay, so you do this, this is 1, this is 2. So you'll get 3 over 2 plus cert 5 over 2. Okay, this will be one of your answers. Okay, the other answer. Okay, what if I take the negative one? So 1 minus cert 5 over cert 5 minus 1. We multiply by the conjugate cert. Cert 5 plus 1. Okay, the only thing actually will be different is the symbols. Okay, the behind one. So here still 5 minus 1. Okay, you see the top is cert 5 plus 1 minus 5 minus cert 5. Okay, so this is cert 5 and negative cert 5 will cancel off, plus 1 negative 5. This will be negative 4. This one will be 4. Okay, this will be negative 1. Okay, so you got two answers. This and this one here. Okay, everyone clear? This is how you get your 6 marks. Okay, let's move on. Question 5. Okay, by the way, if I'm going too fast later, you'll watch back the recording. Okay, I'll upload it on Thinkific. An arithmetic progression is such that the 4th term is 25 and the 9th term is 50. Okay, find the first term and the common difference. Okay, find the first term and the common difference. It means I want to find what is my A and what is my D. Okay, don't have to memorize the formula. Remember, arithmetic progression, geometric progression, the formula is given to you. Okay, what is it? UN term is UN, U is actually term, A plus n minus 1 D. Okay, A plus n minus 1 D. Okay, so the 4th term, okay, this is U4 and this is U9. Okay, so U4 will be A plus 3D, which is equals to 25. Okay, this is for my U4. My U9, my 9th term will be A plus 8D equals to 50. Okay, I got both of these. I do simultaneous equation. Okay, I just call it equation 1 and equation 2. Okay, equation 1, equation 2. Okay, 1 minus 2, I will get 3D minus 8D. Sorry, maybe I do 2 minus 1. Yeah, since I read like that already, never mind. Negative 5D equals to negative 25. D is equals to 5. Okay, then I sub in, okay, sub D equals to 5 into any equation. 1. Okay, A plus 3 times 5 equals to 25. Okay, A equals to 25 minus 15. Therefore, A will be equals to 10. Okay, especially for those who's writing not so nice, I want you all always to write down. You can always rewrite your final answer at the side somewhere also. Okay, preferably somewhere that's clear. Maybe on the bottom right. Okay, for each question. Okay, especially those your presentation, your working not clear. You don't want the last thing is that you actually got all the working correct, you got the correct answer, but because the marker is so very sian, right, with your writing, then they don't give you marks. Okay, because it's still human. And the marker will be marking maybe hundreds or thousands of papers. They'll be very, very tired to find for your answer also. Okay, 3 marks. Next one. Find the least number of terms for which the sum of the progression is greater than 25,000. Okay, so what is the formula for sum for arithmetic? Is we just need to look back in front. Okay, it is n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. Okay, then they say it's greater than 25,000. Okay, so we sub in the value. Just now we got the a is 10 and d is 5 that we got just now. Okay, so make sure your front part for this, double check it, your answer is correct. Because otherwise, here you'll get wrong as well. Okay, sum inside. So I multiply by 2 first. So 2, 10 plus n minus 1 times 5, more than 50,000. Okay, simplify the bracket inside. I'll get 20 plus 5n minus 5, more than 50,000. And 15 plus 5n, more than 50,000. Okay, here I will get, again, put the 5n square in front, 5n square plus 15n, and I move the 50,000 to the left hand side, minus 50,000 more than 0. Okay, I can simplify it, divide the whole equation by 5, so that the number is smaller. Okay, n square plus 3n minus 10,000 more than 0. Okay, for this part here, what you need to do, this is actually a what? Quadratic inequality, right? Okay, quadratic inequality. If you don't know this part here, go back to chapter 4, sorry, not chapter 4, chapter 2. Okay, 2.5. Okay, you all recall how to do quadratic inequality? Okay, I don't think I taught you all, right, all the earlier chapters, okay, because when I started this class. Okay, need the critical values, right? Okay, good. Right. So I actually got another acronym for you all, which I don't know whether I've shared with you all before. It's called SSRR. Okay, you all write this down. SSR. Sorry, RRSS. I got it already. R, when you all do quadratic inequality. Okay, number 1, when you all do inequality. Okay, what's quadratic inequality? That means a quadratic equation with a inequality symbol, which is your more than or less than. R is number one, you rearrange the formula first to make it to ax squared plus bx plus c, or in this case is an squared plus bn plus c. Okay, you rearrange first. You don't leave one side got a value. Okay, number two, you find the roots, okay, also known as your critical values. Okay, some of your teacher will say is critical values. Okay, then after that, how do you actually find the solution? You need to sketch out, okay, you need to sketch out your quadratic graph. Then you solve it. Okay, by the way also, this is something to take note of. When you rearrange it, make your A positive. Okay, make your A positive. Don't make it negative. When your quadratic inequality, when your A is negative, the whole presentation actually will be opposite already. So to keep it simple and for you to not memorize so many things also, always make your A as positive. Okay, when you all do quadratic inequality, this is a tip. Okay, because if you make it as negative, your range where you present your x values will be all opposite already. Okay, so how to do this? We rearrange already. Now we find the critical values, right, which is your roots. Okay, for this case, right, somehow you actually can just use calculator. Okay, because of the marks also, you see 3 marks only. Okay, so use your calculator, find the value. Okay, go inside your calculator, press 1, 3, negative 10,000. Okay, you'll get n equals to 98.5 and n is equals to negative 101.5, right? Okay. Okay, then we got our roots ready. We gotta sketch it out. Okay, sketch out like this, just a rough sketch. Put the smaller value here, put the bigger value here. Okay, where is my region? Here and here. Okay, because this is more than 0. This is the part where it's less than 0. Less than 0, then it'll be here. Okay, so more than 0, my right answer is n less than negative 101.5 and n is more than 98.5. Okay, your n cannot be negative, right? So this one you just reject it. N needs to be a whole number also. Okay, so therefore n, what's your closest n? N equals to 99. This will be your final answer. Okay, so this part here, you need to know how to link it back to your chapter 2 also. Okay, any question here? Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go to, you don't get the sketch part. Okay, what you don't understand about the sketch? You sketch, it's a quadratic graph, right? Quadratic is a happy face graph, right? Positive A. Then you need to plot. Okay, you need to plot the critical values, which is your roots. The smaller one, you put on the left hand side, the bigger one, you put on the right hand side. If it's more than 0, then your answer will be here, here, and here, because this is where your graph extends to. You'll keep going from this point here, this root, until the negative part here. Okay, here we'll start from this root until go to the positive to infinity. Okay, so how do you express for the top part? Okay, if it's more than 0, okay, that means your x is less than the, okay, let's say this is a and b, x is less than a, then x is more than b. If it's less than 0, then it's in between a and b. Okay, if you don't understand this part, go inside Thinkific, go and watch this one here, quadratic inequality. Okay, quadratic inequality. There got one whole section. You all just write down whatever I ask you all to watch. All of you got access to it. Okay, all of you, make sure you all utilize the video inside out. Okay, this is to speed up your learning. That means 7 days a week or so. Will the region ever be below the 0, 9? Yeah, here less than 0 means below the 0, 9. So your range will be like, your domain of values will be this, in between. This is your graph. Wow, tomorrow ICT trials. Hey, you all set your MF where? No, when is it? Next week. 12, is it? Oh, next week already. Ooh, scary. Okay, then you all better do as many papers as you all can. Okay, let's move on. Question 6. I think this paper is actually quite good because it helps you all see quite a number of chapters and not many. Normally, you've got like one paper, they'll give you like a lot of trigo or differentiation. This one quite balanced, this paper. Okay, this is a binomial question. The first 3 terms in ascending powers of x in the expansion, this one, are written in the form a plus ax plus bx squared, where a and b are constants. Find the exact values of a and b. 7-mark question. Okay, 1 sentence, 7 marks. You love these kind of questions. Okay, fun. Okay, so we need to know what we need to find. Be clear. Okay, number 1 is you need to be clear first. They ask you, expand until 18. Do you expand until 18? Okay, don't lie, okay? Don't need to do until 18. All right, number one, this formula, you don't need to memorize, but you need to know how to use it. You go back to your formula sheet. So this is called a binomial. Binomial means what? Bi means 2, right? Okay, bi is 2. So I got 2 terms, plus or minus, and we expand it. Okay, you just need to go back. If you ever forget the formula, you go back to the formula sheet, you copy down this formula and figure out from there. Okay, but make sure you all know how to use it. This binomial theorem. A plus B bracket power n. Because some of you during exam, you all might forget the formula. Okay, so as long as you know where to find the formulas and derive it. A to the power n means you will take your first term to the power of whatever the power first. Then plus n1 like that. This is actually your NCR. Okay, your calculator, how to get the NCR? Shift, divide. Okay, this is your, you press shift, then divide, NCR. Okay, then how the power will be? The power will always balance out each other. You have to understand clearly. Power for A will keep on going up. Okay, power for A will keep on going up. Going down from the biggest power to the smallest power. Power for B will keep on going up by 1. Okay, total power, another thing to take note, total power, okay, for A and B will always be equals to the n value. Okay, so if you happen to check, because sometimes the working is very long, right? If you see, how come I write this one and this one, the power don't add up to this? That means one of your values is wrong. And the moment you write one value is wrong, the entire thing will be wrong also. Okay, so be extra careful when you all do this kind of question. So A to the power n plus NCR, okay, or NC1, A to the power n minus 1B, then 2, and here 2, 2, 2. Okay, make sure you all know how to apply it. So if you're not so sure on this, go inside the hot topical past year question, practice on this one. Okay, I went through a lot of questions on this. Okay, so we expand one at a time. We only want until a plus bx squared. So you have to understand, when I expand this bracket and I cross multiply, what I want to get is until bx squared only. So I am going to expand this first bracket until where? 1 minus 2x over 9 to the power 18. Okay, if I expand every single term, how many terms will I get? If power 18. Okay, so this one you have to go to your Pascal's triangle, right? Okay, you all recall? A lot. Okay, how many? You all know exactly how many? You all recall? What's the logic behind the binomial and Pascal's triangle? Okay, you just have to remember this just in case. Until correct. 19. Okay, your total number of terms, your first term will be x to the power of 0. So x to the power of 0, x1, x2, x3, x4 until x18. So you will have a total of 19 terms. Okay? All right. How do we expand this? All right. You all see, if it's 1, actually you can simplify the thing to not write so many values down. If it's 1, actually you can, they say it's a to the power of n, right? 1 to the power of 18, right? But you don't have to write this 18, right? Okay, because if you keep writing the 18, later very confusing. Okay? So you just write 1. Okay, write 1. And you all see, your 1 to the power of anything will always be 1. So technically you don't need to write the 1. Okay, so how I will write it? I will just write it 1. Okay, I follow the formula. So NC1, you all just refer to the formula sheet. NC1, then B to the power of 1. Okay? There's a 1 here, but this 1 will become 1 to the power of 17, which is also still 1. So you don't actually have to write the 1 down. Okay, so you can do this if your A is equal to 1. If it's not 1, then you have to just copy down the formula and then just slowly fit 1 by 1. Okay, so I will only expand until power 2. Your x when power 2. So 18, 2. This one will be negative 2x over 9 to the power of 2. Okay, we stop here. Don't do extra. You do extra, 0 marks also. Okay, they won't give you any extra marks. Type this in the calculator, you get 1 minus, okay, this is 18c1. So you type 18c1 times negative 2 over 9, you will get negative 4x. Then this one you'll get 68 over 9x squared. Okay, over here, 2 marks. Okay, 2 marks. Okay, anyone not clear how to do binomial? Binomial expansion. Okay, we might go back into there also, okay, from the hot topical past year question in this next couple of weeks. Okay, then next one. 1 plus 3x to the power of 3. Okay, 1 plus 3x to the power of 3. We do the same thing again. 1 plus 3c1. Okay, then 3x to the power of 1 plus 3x squared. Okay, time the calculator, you get 1 plus 9x plus 27x squared. Okay, then we cross multiply it, which is when you do this, 18, 1 plus 3x to the power of 3. Okay, so we put inside the bracket so that we can see clearly. 1 minus 4. Okay, I put the other way around now. Okay, because I want to put the positive in front. 1 plus 9x plus 27x squared multiplied by 1 minus 4x plus 68 over 9x squared. Okay, this is just preference. Okay, so we cross multiply it, which is this times this times this. Then, okay, you don't have to do every single value, by the way. Okay, so you only find the necessary ones. So this times this. Okay, because remember, we only want to do x squared, right? So you see, 9x, I don't need to times 68 over 9x squared. Don't waste your time doing it. Okay, you won't get minus mark also. Then the last one will just be this value here, 27x squared times 1. Okay, if you are not confident writing like this, I'll teach you another trick how to do it. You just write one more extra step. Okay, like this. 1 minus 4x plus 68 over 9x squared. So you break it down like this. Okay, then you put plus 9x. Okay, plus 9x, then you 1 minus 4x. Okay, then you ask yourself, do I need to multiply the 68 over 9x squared? Okay, you want to write also can, but actually you don't need to multiply it. Okay, you understand, right? Why do I have to multiply? Because I only want to do x squared. Okay, then this one, you see, x times x squared will give me x cubed. So actually I don't need this part here. Then I do like that, 27x squared times 1. This is all I need. Okay, you write like this, you still get full marks. Okay, so let's find out what are values. 1 minus 4x plus 68 over 9x squared plus 9x minus 36x squared plus 27x squared. Okay, plus 27x squared. Okay, the one with the same term, okay, let's highlight it out, minus 4x and plus 9x. Okay, then the other one, 68 over 9x squared minus 36x squared and 27x squared. Okay, we put it in the form that they want. You see, they just now put there 1 plus ax plus bx squared. So I put the 1 first. Okay, what's your a? 9 minus 4. So you get plus 5x. Okay, this is your yellow term. Your green color term, let's start your calculator. 68 over 9 minus 36 plus 27. Okay, what do you get? Minus 13 over 9. Very good. Okay, then we compare. Okay, we compare 1 plus ax plus bx squared, right? They want us to, this one is 1 plus ax plus bx squared. Okay, so you can write like this out. This is how I like to write. Coefficient of x. Okay, you can just write 5 is equals to 8. And coefficient of x squared, this will be negative 13 over 9 equals to b. Okay, or you want to write the other way around also can. Actually, normally we write the other way around. More standard like that. Negative 13 over 9. Hey, how you get 311 over 9 just now? Okay, clear on this. Okay, so this is question 6. Okay, let's go. Question 7. Question 7. The diagram shows a circle with center O and radius R. OAB, OCD are sectors. Okay, with center O and radius X. Okay, where X is in between 0 and R. Angle AOB equals to angle COD, which is theta radian, where theta is in between 0 and pi. Okay, find in terms of Rx and theta the perimeter of the shaded region. Okay, when we do this type of question, what chapter is this? This is chapter 8, your circular measure. Okay, circular measure type of question. Normally they can give you any type of shape, so make sure you all look at all the possible type of shapes. You just go inside the hot topical past year question. There's many different kind of variant. It will help you all to think, okay, and to practice the different type of shapes. But what are the main formulas that you all need for this? You can go and refer to the formula sheet, the most bottom one, either your sine rule, cos rule, or your area. Sometimes you might use that. Or in this case, you all need to know. This is from your mathematics mensuration. Arc length is S equals to R theta. Okay, or you might use area of sector, which is half R square theta. Okay, half R square theta. Okay, let's see what do we need here. Perimeter of the shaded region means I got my outside. I got my outside. Then I got here. Okay, this one 1, 2, 3, 4, which is x. Then I got my arc. Okay, arc length, which is what? X theta. Okay, this is x theta, x theta. Okay, so how do I find perimeter? 3 marks. Actually, this is a very easy 3 marks. Okay, the outside, you get 2 pi r. Okay, then here, your radius 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So plus 4x. Okay, then your 2 arc, you get 2x theta. Okay, make sure you all know your formulas. This one you have to memorize the formulas. 3 marks. 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark. Okay, second question. Find in terms Rx theta the area of the shaded region. Okay, area of the shaded region. So what will you do for area of shaded region? You can take the big circle minus these 2 of this sector. Okay, take the big circle minus 2 of this sector. So big circle is pi r square, area of sector, half r square theta. The r over here is x squared, the x. So you take 2 of it. So area of shaded will be equals to the big circle minus 2 of the little sector. Okay, so you'll be pi r square minus, this one got 2, 2 half x square theta. Okay, simplify it. You get pi r square minus x square theta. All right. The next question. Okay, this question, the sentence you all have to read carefully. They say it is given that x can vary, okay, and r and theta are constant. Write down the least possible area of the shaded region in terms of r and theta. Okay, what does it mean? What's the meaning of x can vary? What is vary? V-A-R-Y. X can vary. Okay, so you look at the diagram. Number one, you need to understand the English here first. dy over dx equals 0. Okay, no, not really. Okay, what's the meaning of vary first? V-A-R-Y. Can change, right? Okay, so now they are saying x can change, but r and theta are constant. That means it cannot change. Okay, so x can be bigger, x can be smaller. You look here, this x, okay, imagine it's changeable, okay, the size of this x. It can be bigger, it can be smaller. But your theta and your r is constant. That means this value and this value cannot change. Okay, understand the question? Okay, when you first look at this question, you may be thinking, okay, like what John said, you might be thinking is dy over dx equals 0, right? Because the keyword is the least possible area. That's why I taught you all, right? I say the keyword, you find maximum, minimum, the biggest, or the least. Okay, we'll use dy over dx equals 0. But in this case, we don't. Okay, in this case, we don't. We just understand from the sentence. And you see, it's just a 2-mark question. Okay, least possible area of the shaded area means how can I change the x, or how do I change the x to make it either a maximum or minimum so that my shaded region become minimum, which is the least area. Okay, x, how do you think you can change it to make the area smaller? Okay, so this is how you do it. Okay, I'm gonna erase this part here. What you need to do is the x, I'm gonna increase it until the circumference. Okay, that means I'm gonna increase this sector until like this. Okay, understand this part here? Because x can vary, and I want to take it off. Okay, so imagine I got this sector that you can cut off. Okay, just imagine you can cut off, and it can increase. The max that I can go is my x is equals to r. Okay, that means until the end, my x becomes r over here. Got it? Okay, so I am left with only this part here and this part here. Okay, because you see, right, when I expand it that time, okay, when I expand the x that time, when I increase the x value until r, my theta still remains, right? Okay, theta is constant. They say theta and r is constant. I'm not changing the r also. Okay, this yellow color circle still remains as the same shape. The only thing I'm changing right now is for me to get the least possible shaded area right now, I increase this unshaded area until like this. Okay, which is this whole red section. Understand? Okay, so this one, to be honest, this part here, a bit different the question. Okay, how they structure it. Okay, so how do I find my least possible area of this entire shape? Meaning, if my x becomes r, okay, when my x becomes r, so that means your x, you increase till becomes r, which means it touches the circumference, okay, as big as the circle. So your least value, you need to write down this sentence. Your least value, it is when your x is equals to r. Okay, your least value, it is when your x becomes r, because you increase it until it becomes r. Then we put the formula. Okay, just now the original formula is what? A equals to this one. Okay, the area of shaded, right, is A equals to this minus the sector, right? Okay, but right now my sector become r. This one is still theta. This one r. Okay, so what will be my formula? Okay, this for area of shaded. Shaded is always minus off the two sectors. So this one will still be pi r square, but right now this one will be 2 half r square Okay, r square theta. Okay, this will be pi r square minus r square theta. Okay, you can factorize this r square pi minus theta if you want. Okay, clear on this question? What it means?
Teacher, can we just copy the equation from above and just sub x equals y inside?
Can also. Okay, it's just I want to explain the full explanation here. Okay, you can do the same thing. Can I explain the perimeter again? You can't do this question alone. Yeah, this one I think many students don't know how to do also because it's quite a different how they structure the question is a bit different. Perimeter is the like that only. You add outside plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this. 2 pi r is this. 4x is this. Okay, this 2 is your arc. This is your radius of the sector. This 2 is the sector. Okay, like what Zhuo Shang said, okay, you can just actually sub in inside here because just now we actually found the formula already. So you don't, this one I just explain the whole thing again. Okay, you can just sub this pi r square, you replace this r with x. You just need to understand the question, what are they asking you for. Okay, I know on first thought, you will definitely think about dy over dx equals to 0 first. Okay, any more question? This one. Okay, we do one more. Yeah, I don't think we can finish up today. We do one more. Okay, 5-mark question. This is an integration question. Okay, for this equation, 2 over x plus 1 minus x plus 2. Okay, give your answer as a single logarithm in terms of a. Okay, in terms of a. So number one, you need to know how to integrate this. Okay, how to remind yourself to integrate for this type. When your bottom, your denominator has only x to the power of 1, you think about log. Okay, x to the power of 2, then no. Okay, x to the power of 1, then you think about log. Okay, so this will be what? I just write down the formula. So f prime x over fx will be equals to, this is actually how you memorize ln fx, right? Okay, or the other way is this one, ax plus b. Okay, then this one will be, sorry, what do you all memorize it? I also forgot the general formula. A, is it a? Yeah. Okay, then ln ax plus b. Okay, go and recap this one. Okay, because I honestly I don't memorize the formula, so I just know the logic behind this. Okay, your top will be the differentiated term of this. Okay, like how you all do for ln also when you differentiate ln. Okay, so you will get here the first one, 2 ln x plus 1 plus ln x plus 2. You get 0 to a. Okay, sub in, we do our definite integral. 2 ln a plus 1 minus ln a plus 2. Okay, this will be your first bracket. You sub in the a already. And this one, 2 ln 0 plus 1 minus ln 0 plus 2. Okay, then they say they want it as a single logarithm. So you need to remember when they say as a single logarithm means they want like one big ln or log like this, then got all your terms inside. Okay, so you need to simplify this part here. Okay, so here, change it to power, okay, using the power rule for your ln. Okay, then this one, ln 1 will be 0. So this one you'll get plus ln 2. Okay, only got this term. Okay, then we simplify it. Okay, when they say single logarithm also, sometimes if your final answer you put it as 2, they might be a bit strict. So you have to put this to power also. Okay, don't put any coefficient in front. Okay, then you will get here ln a plus 1 square divided by a plus 2, then times 2 means times 2 here. Okay, times 2 here. Okay, all good until here? Okay, I will stop here first. In the next time, we'll just continue on the remainder few questions. But I'll be giving you all some stuff to do. Okay, so this is the part 1 of your ON 2022 paper 1-1. All right, we're going to continue the paper 060611 ON 2022. So this is your ON paper 2022 variant 1-1. Okay, we stopped at question 8. Now we're going to enter to question 9. Solve the equation 2 log py plus 10 log yp minus 9 equals to 0, where p is a positive constant giving y in terms of p. Okay, so this is a log type of question. If you're not so sure, go and check, revise on your log. Okay, what's the first thing that we need to do for this question? Log py, log yp. We need to change it to the same base first, right? Okay, so change to same base. It's either you change it all to base p or base y. Okay, so I'm going to just change it to base p here. 2 log py plus 10 log pp over log py minus 9 equals to 0. Okay, log pp, okay, log pp is equals to 1. Okay, this is one of the rules, right? Log AA, log bb is all equals to 1. Okay, then over here, what are we supposed to do? We are gonna multiply it by log py. Okay, because we don't want to solve it with something at the bottom here. So what we're gonna do is multiply this whole equation by log py. Okay, what we get here? Okay, what we get here? We'll get 2 log py square. Okay, this one we will get a square. Then plus 10 minus 9 log py equals to 0. Yeah, we can use the let method as well. Correct. Okay, so the thing is we want to try to make it, actually this one will become a quadratic equation. Okay, you need to recognize the pattern. And how do you know this is really by just doing as many questions as you can. Identifying that this is actually sort of like a complex quadratic equation type of question. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to let method, I'm going to let log py equals to, okay, whatever alphabet that you like. Okay, I'm just going to put it as a lah. So you'll get 2a square plus 10 minus 9a equals to 0, right? Okay, you rearrange it, make it to quadratic equation. Minus 9a plus 10 equals to 0. Okay, for this one, remember, whenever you all do quadratic equation in exam, first thing you do, just use your calculator. Check whether it's rational or irrational solution first, so that you don't waste time deciding what method to use. Okay, so go use your calculator. Go into polynomial degree 2, 2, negative 9, 10. Okay, what's the answer they give you? Okay, every time I write like this, the answer, I write it at the side here like that. X is equals to 5 over 2 and x equals to 2. Okay, these are rational solutions. Therefore, I will use factorizing. Okay, if irrational solution come out, straight away you use quadratic formula already. Okay, don't waste your time doing other methods. Okay, so 2a square minus 9a plus 10. Yeah, I'm just gonna write the factorize. So you get 2a minus 5 and x minus this will be a, not x. A minus 2 equals to 0. Okay, therefore a will be equals to 5 over 2 and a will be equals to 2. Now I got a already. Yeah, I change it back because initially we let log py equals to a. So I'm going to change it back to log py equals to 5 over 2 and log py equals to 2. Okay, then what am I going to do here? We're going to use one of the other laws of log, which is we change from logarithm form to index form. Okay, so this is one of the rules that we learned, right? Okay, log form to index form. Okay, so it will become y equals to p to the power of 5 over 2. Okay, or y equals to p squared. Okay, these two will be your final answer. All right, everyone got it? Everyone got this? Okay, next one. Question 10. Given that 65 times nc5 equals to 2 bracket n minus 1 times n plus 1 c6, find the value of n. Okay, you all need to know this type of question, you need to use the manual formula. Okay, what do I mean by the manual formula? Okay, do you all recall where to get this formula? When you have n, right, as unknown, okay, you all see here, this one also n plus 1. What you need to do is you go to the formula sheet, okay, the page 2, you go into page 2, you all see over here. This is the formula that you all need to use. Okay, this formula. This is NCR. Yeah, on the front page, you don't have to memorize this one, but you just need to know where to find it from. Okay, when do you use it? You see here, just now I said that when your n is unknown. So sometimes, right, they will give you like this also, NC something, okay, like NC5 like that. Okay, this one, when your n is unknown. Okay, so whenever you see n in this formula, the NC something in this binomial theorem type of question, you copy down this formula first. N factorial over n minus r bracket factorial r factorial. You need to know how to use this. Okay, but we're just going to copy it down first. I teach you all how to use it. So we write it down here first. nr is equals to n factorial over n minus r factorial r factorial. Okay, you all know what's this nr? nr is ncr. It's the same meaning as ncr. It's just a different way of writing it. If you all see on your calculator, above the divide symbol, there is where you get your NCR. Okay. Why we need to use this formula is because right now I don't know what's my n, right? So I cannot type into my calculator the value. So I need to manually calculate it. Okay. You all see here? 65 times NC5. So I'm going to write 65 multiplied by n factorial over, okay, we put in the formula, n minus 5 factorial, 5 factorial. Okay, can you all see? I am just replacing the r value here. R value. Okay, because r is equal to 5. Okay, then the right hand side, 2 bracket n minus 1. N plus 1 is your n right now. C6. So my n, all my n, I replace it with n plus 1. So this will be n plus 1 factorial over n plus 1 minus 6 bracket factorial 6 factorial. Be careful when you're subbing in. Basically, I'm just subbing in all the values into the formula, that's all. Okay, you understand it here? Okay, this one is normally the tricky one for the if you all come up with the unknown n one. Okay, so now we have to simplify it. Okay, the goal for this question is that we want to eliminate the n factorials. Okay, because I don't know what is n. So I don't know what is the value of n factorial. I can never find what's the value of n factorial without knowing, what's the value of n. So my goal is to eliminate, eliminate all factorials with n. This is the method. Okay, in fact, actually, you go back to the previous papers, you all will see me explaining the same type of exact question also. Okay, we simplify the equation first. Okay, so for here, right, because I can make it to n minus 5. Okay, I'm going to teach you all how to do it. N plus 1 factorial. You all know what's the meaning of factorial? Okay, let's say 5 factorial means what? 5 factorial, it just means 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, right? Okay, that's the meaning of a factorial. So n factorial means n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3 until infinity, because we don't know what's the n. N plus 1 factorial means n plus 1 times n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3. Okay, you keep minus 1, okay, because you see the pattern is like that. You multiply by minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 like that. Okay, so how to simplify this? Okay, I'm just going to write down the same exact thing first so that we are clear. Okay, I'm going to simplify this lower part here first. So here the value will be n plus n minus 5 factorial 6 factorial. Okay, I also want to eliminate this n factorial. Okay, how can I do this? How can I eliminate this n factorial? You all look over here, this term and this term here. This term and this term here. N plus 1 factorial can actually be written as n plus 1 times n factorial also. Okay, you all get it? Because n plus 1 factorial, teach you all the logic, n plus 1 factorial is actually n plus 1 times n minus 1 times n minus 2, so on and so forth. Okay, so this whole behind part here, I can write it as n factorial. Got it? Okay, so you need to know when to stop. So the reason why I stop at n factorial also is because you see my left hand side here, I got n factorial. So I'm going to cancel this and this. Okay, this n factorial and this n factorial, I will take it away. Okay, can cancel each other. Remember, my goal for this is to eliminate all factorials with n. Okay, where's one more got a factorial with n? You see this n minus 5 factorial, n minus 5 factorial. Okay, this one easy. I can just cut it. Okay, any question until here? Okay, this is the toughest part already. Okay, others all easy already. Everyone okay? Understand until here? Okay, all good. Okay, so you just actually need to know how to use the formula. Okay, so now let's simplify it. 65 over 5 factorial. Okay, then over here got 2, okay, n minus 1, n plus 1. This one will become n square minus 1. Okay, I got one more 6 factorial, right? Okay, 6 factorial, I bring it up here. Okay, times 6 factorial. Okay, just type this in the calculator. 65 times 6 factorial divided by 5 factorial, you'll get 390 equals to 2n square minus 1. Divide by 2, you get 195 n square minus 1. Okay, I just rearrange it. I bring the minus 1, it become 196. Okay, then we will square root 196, which is equals to 40. Okay? Everyone okay for this one? Okay, it's really just putting into the formula. You need to know which formula to use when you have unknown n. All right, we are going to go to the next question, question 11 here right now. The diagram shows a triangle OAC. The point B lies on AC such that AB to AC is 2 to 5. It is given that OA is A, OB is B, and OC is equals to C. Show that 5B minus 3A is equals to 2C. Okay, if this type of question comes out in your exam, right, actually you should thank the maths god, because I think it's much easier than the other one, right? Okay, but this is called vector geometry, so which is the last chapter that we went through, vector geometry. Okay, let's write down what are the information that's given to us. They say AB to AC is 2 to 5. They mean this part here is 2 parts. this part here is 3 parts. Okay? All right, then we got A, B, and C. How do I find 5B minus 3A equals to 2C? Okay, you see whatever information they give you. Okay, let's just see what we have. They gave us this ratio, right? Okay, can we find what is AB and what is AC? Okay, so we look at the diagram. How to find AB? Okay, we need AC first, right? So let's find what is AC first, the first thing. Okay, so sometimes I also don't know what we need to find first. So you just slowly discover step by step. So AC is AO plus OC, which is negative A plus C. Okay, negative A plus C. Then AB is equals to 2 over 5 AC. Okay, 2 over 5 of AC. So which is 2 over 5 negative A plus C. Okay, then what do I want to find? They gave us this ratio, right? AB to AC is equals to 2 to 5. Okay, ratio, we can always change it to a fraction. So we write it like this. AB over AC is equals to 2 over 5. Alright, then I write it like this. AB equals to 2 over 5 AC. Okay, I have AB, I have AC. Can I just sub it inside? Okay, can I just sub it inside? Okay, sorry, I already did this, right? Oops. Okay, so I'm actually just repeating the same thing again. Actually, these two is the same meaning. Okay, because just now I derived it above already. Okay, anyway, let's just write it again. So 2 over 5 negative A plus C. Okay, so we just need to simplify this equation here right now. And AB is, what was AB? Negative A plus B. Okay, negative A plus B. Okay, sorry, teacher right here, right? AB is negative A plus B. So I'm going to replace this AB with negative A plus B. Okay, rearrange this entire equation. Multiply it by 5. Negative 5A plus 5B equals to negative 2A plus 2C. Okay, we want to write it 5B minus 3A equals to 2C. So 5B minus 3A equals to 2C. Okay, proven. What did teacher teach you all also? If you cannot prove it, right? Okay, you just close 2 eyes and then you put bracket, proven bracket. Okay, just write to the final step. If they ask you to show lah. Okay. So here is 4 marks already. Okay, second one. Let's see how to do the question B. The diagram now includes point X and Y such that OX equals to 3 over 4 OA, OY equals to MOB, and then where M is a constant. It is also given that XY to XC is lambda to 1, where lambda is a constant. Okay, quite a bit of information here. Using part A, find XC in terms of A and B. Let's write down what we found from question A first. 5B minus 3A equals to 2C. Okay, and then with all this information, so I have OX is 3 over 4 OA. So let's break it down whatever information that we have first. So we know that here is OX is 3 over 4A. Then here is 1 over 4A. Okay, 3 over 4A and 1 over 4A. What else do we know? OY is MOB. Okay, can we write that down? Anything? OY is MOB. Okay, we don't know lah. This one we save it for later. Okay, XC. How can we get XC? XO plus OC, right? Okay, we write down first. XC is XO plus OC. What's XO? Negative 3 over 4A plus C. However, the question only wants us to present it in A and B. So I'm going to replace. Okay, I'm going to substitute. I don't want C, right? So what is C? Okay, what is C? So if I use this over here, C is equals to 5B minus 3A over 2. Okay, so I'm just going to replace or substitute it off. Negative 3 over 4A. Yes, A 5 over 2B minus 3 over 2A. Okay, you will get negative 9 over 4A plus 5 over 2B. This is the answer. Okay, or you put the other way around to get 5 over 2B minus 9 over 4A. Okay, this is for XC. Okay, next one. Hence, find the values of M and lambda. Okay, M and lambda. So just now got 2 more equations that we didn't use, right? Which is this OY equals to MOB and this XY to XC is equals to lambda to 1. Okay, so I'm going to write down the information that's given to us first. So OY is equals to MOB. Okay, what is OB? We know that it's equals to B. So we simplify it first, we write it as B. We also know that OY is equals to, okay, OY is equals to OX plus XY. Okay, what is xy? We can use this part here, okay, to simplify it. So I want you all to change this one to, okay, change this part here, xy to xc equals to lambda to 1. Change it to some sort of value. Okay, so xy, okay, xy to xc is equals to lambda to 1. Okay, so xy over xc is equals to lambda over 1. Okay, what do we know about this? I can say that xy is equals to lambda xc. Okay, so this small part here is actually lambda xc. Okay, lambda xc. Okay, what about the other part here? Okay, the entire xc. Can I say it is 1 minus lambda? Okay, write it like this, 1 minus lambda xc. Okay, 1 minus lambda xc. Okay, so now I have some more information here. Okay, let me go back here. So OY is also equals to OX plus lambda xc. Okay, because I am doing OX plus XY. This is XY. Okay, can you see? OY is OX plus XY. I'm going to use what we found above. Okay, what we found above, the XC here, to expand a little bit further. So OX, we also know OX is 3 over 4a from the question that we derived just now. So 3 over 4a plus lambda, negative 9 over 4a plus 5 over 2b. We open up this bracket, 3 over 4a minus 9 over 4 lambda a plus 5 over 2 lambda b. Okay, by the way, don't put your lambda at the back. Okay, normally we put the a and b because a and b is the vector. Normally put the vector at the most behind the value. Lambda, mu, m, all these is the unknown. Okay, we have this. Okay, can we simplify this? Okay, I have OY. They give us OY is MB, right? Just now in the first question. So I'm gonna substitute this MB into here right now. Okay, MB. Because I want to later just compare the coefficient. Okay, you all see over here how to do this. MB is equal to 3 over 4a minus 9 over 4 lambda a plus 5 over 2 lambda b. I can move this one over here, so it can be written as negative 3 over 4a plus mb equals to negative 9 over 4 lambda a plus 5 over 2 lambda b. Okay, why did I do this? Basically, my goal here is that I want to compare the coefficient, the a and the a with the b and the b here. Okay, so the method that we are doing here is you compare coefficient. Okay, compare coefficient. Okay, we compare a and a. A will be negative 3 over 4 equals to negative 9 over 4 lambda. Okay, type this in the calculator. You get lambda is equals to 1 over 3. Okay, you negative 3 over 4 divided by negative 9 over 4. For your coefficient of b, you will get m is equals to 5 over 2 lambda. You substitute the lambda inside, which is 1 over 3. And you will get 5 over 6. Okay, these two will be our final answer. Okay, any question this part here? Okay. All good, all good. All right, if all good, let's go next one. Okay, everyone's favorite chapter, trigonometry. Okay, so I think Aiden was asking a few questions, right? Did you manage to figure out how to do this solving? Okay, teacher will go through also again, over and over again. Trigo is one of the hardest chapter in the entire syllabus, so we will spend a little bit more time later on practicing again. Okay, show that 1 over cosecant theta minus 1 plus cosecant theta plus 1 is equals to 2 sine theta sec square theta. Okay, how do we do this? You'll see over here first. I want to prove this side is equals to this side. Okay, this side is equals to this side. So number one, I'm gonna try to start from the left hand side. Normally you start with the more complex side. So my left hand side, I am going to make it to one fraction first. So left hand side I multiply by cosec theta plus 1. Then the right hand side cosec theta minus 1. So this will be cosec theta plus 1 plus cosec theta minus 1 over, okay, the bottom I multiply with each other, right? You see, this is a minus b times a plus b. So you can become a squared minus b squared. Okay, cosecant square theta minus 1. Okay, let's continue. Whenever where you are doing proving type of question and you got a square, this is what you write down. Okay, you go to your formula sheet. Okay, you go to your formula sheet, you scroll all the way to the bottom here, you see your identities. Whenever you got square, you will most likely use one of these formulas here. Okay, so you all see just now we got cosecant square theta, right? So you go and copy down this formula. Cosec square A equals to 1 plus cosec square cotangent square A. Okay, normally you will use the formula. Okay, so, but you just write it at the side first. So cosec square theta is equals to 1 plus cotangent square theta. Okay, can I simplify it? Okay, can I simplify it? Cosec square theta minus 1 is equals to cotangent square theta, right? Okay, so we can simplify that to cotangent square theta. On the top, we can just write our numerator cosec theta. Okay, this one will be, this will be cosec square theta minus 1. Okay, so this one will be cotangent square theta. Okay, if y'all still cannot see it, right, what y'all can do also, you can do both right-hand side and left-hand side simultaneously. So you know what's your angle. You can somehow meet in the middle, but it's just in the presentation-wise, you work from one side. Y'all see over here, sine theta, what's sec square theta? Okay, what is sec square theta? 1 over cos square theta, right? Okay, so you know that your goal that you want to get is something like that. 1 over cos square theta. Right. Let's simplify further. 2 cosecant theta over cotangent square theta. I'm going to split it up to like this so that it's easier for me to calculate. 1 over cotangent square theta. This will be 2 over sine theta multiplied by 1 over cos square theta over sine square theta. Okay, we can inverse it. This will be multiplied by sine square theta over cos square theta. Simplify it, sine, you see? Ultimately, I'll get 2 sine theta. Okay, 2 sine. Okay, iPad going crazy again. Hold on. Okay, continue here. 2 sine theta times 1 over cos square theta. Okay, which is equals to 2 sine theta secant square theta. Proven. Okay, as mentioned also, if you all get stuck with this question, don't spend so much time doing it because normally you won't need to use it for the next question. Okay, they already give you the proof. Okay, normally you can just take the other side then to solve for the next question. Even if you're stuck, just write something in the middle, then just write the final answer, write proven. Okay, this is the trick. Hopefully the marker don't see. Okay, because a lot of you score marks from like this, right? Okay, question B. Hence, solve the equation 1 over cosec 25 minus 1 plus 1 over cosec 25 plus 1 equals to 4 sine 25 for negative 90 to 90. Okay, so you all have to see the angles here. So I need to replace it with this right-hand side, which will become 2 sine 25. Okay, 2 sine 25. 2 sine 25 secant square 25. Okay, hold on a minute. Equals to 4 sine 25. Okay, how do we solve this? Slowly simplify it. Okay, slowly simplify. This is a 6 marks question. Okay, did anyone get this answer? Okay, by the way, trigo also one thing to take note of, you all cannot divide the trigo. Meaning if you can simplify by cutting both sides, right, you cannot divide it. The only thing that you can do is to factorize it. Okay, so okay, why did I mention that? You see here I got sine 25, here I got sine 25, right? You cannot cancel like this. Okay, it doesn't work for trigo because you'll lose out some of the answers. So for this one here, you get 2 sine 25 sec square 25 minus 4 sine 25 equals to 0. Okay, then the way to do it is you factorize it. So you get 2 sine 25 sec square 25 minus 2 equals to 0. Okay, equals to 0. Right. I have one equation here. I have one equation here. You got to split it up. Okay, both will be equals to 0. So we solve it out. 2 sine 25 equals to 0. Sine 25 equals to 0. Okay, how do we solve this type of question? When we got sine and cos, when it's equals to 0, what did teacher mention to you all? Do we use the ASTC? Okay, we don't use ASTC. We just draw the original graph out. However, another thing to take note of is, you see here, negative 90 to 90. Okay, so some of you might be stuck here already. Okay, you have to remember 0, negative 1 and 1. This is for sine and cos. Okay, sine and cos. use original graph. Okay, use the original graph. Okay, so what do I mean use by your original graph? Okay, you sketch the original sine graph out. Okay, sorry guys, because my iPad I think is already giving up on me. So something is wrong with the pen or the iPad itself. Okay, we draw this out. Okay, so how do we do sine graph? Like this, right? Okay, the negative side, like this. Okay, why do we need to draw until like this? Because you look here, we want to do the negative, right? So 0 will be here, 180, then 360, right? Okay, this one, negative 180, negative 360, right? Okay, so you all see, right, the range of values that we want for the angle now is negative 95 to 90, right? How to understand this? This one, they give us, we are solving for 2 phi. So 2 phi, the angle that we want is from, you multiply 2 also to the angle. So I want from negative 180 to 180. Okay, so that means when I look at this graph, I only want this value, and this value. The values that gives you 0. Okay, so 2 phi will be equals to negative 180, 0, and then 180. And here, you'll get negative 90, 0, and then 90 degrees. Okay? Not an easy question, this one. Okay, really not an easy one. Okay, everyone understand how to do this part here? For the 0, 1. Okay, 0, 1. Now we need to solve for this part here. Secant square 2 phi minus 2. Okay, if you actually went through a lot of my Trigo questions on the hot topical past year question, right, you all should be able to figure this out already. Okay, because we actually did many of these questions. So for those who didn't attend the Trigo class, go through all the Trigo exam questions. These are very high chance type of questions that will come up for your exam. Okay, so we do this. Secant square 2 phi minus 2 equals to 0. Secant square 2 phi will be equals to 2. Okay, then secant square I have to inverse it, right? So cos square 2 phi, this one I inverse it, equals to 1 over 2. Okay, square, when we bring over, it will become plus minus square root. Okay, plus minus square root. Okay, when it's plus minus, right, whenever we solve for Trigo, what does it mean? It means you consider all 4 quadrants, right? Okay, you consider all 4 quadrants. Okay, so what we're going to do here, when we have to find our base angle first. So you all just type shift cos square root 1 over 2, you will get 45 degrees. Okay, so we start with calculating base angle first. Okay, follow the step-by-step process. You ignore the positive, negative sign first. Then, because this question has both plus and minus, and our angle that we want, right, is from negative 180 to 180. Okay, so how do we sketch it out? Okay, you have to use your ASTC graph. Okay, so you do your ASTC like this. So 45 degrees means all 4 quadrants. Okay, so you draw the line at all 4 quadrants like this. Okay, your alpha here, alpha here, alpha here, and alpha here. Okay, how to do negative 180 to 180? It means it starts from here. Okay, you will go all the way until here. Okay, so you will get negative 180 to 180. Okay, where they intersect with each other, this is the solution. Okay, this is the solution. So you're supposed to get 4 answers here. Okay, number 1, you all look over here. This is at the negative side, right? How do we read this angle according to our ASTC? This is what we learned from our Trigo at the start. Okay, this is your negative 0 to 90. This is 90 to 180, right? So to calculate this first value will be, okay, you just put like that, negative 180 minus 45 degrees. Okay, this one will be negative 135 degrees. Okay, over here, this one will be negative 45 degrees. This one will be 45 degrees. This one will be 180 minus 45 degrees, which is positive 135 degrees. Okay, can you see how to solve this? We just need to draw this diagram properly, and then we can get the answer already. Okay, so these 4 values that we are going to calculate is for 2 phi. Okay, so 2 phi is equals to negative 135, negative 45, 45, and 135. Divide all your values by 2, you get 67.5 degrees, negative 22.5 degrees, 22.5 degrees, and 67.5 degrees. Okay, these are negative. So total, how many answers do I have? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 answers. Okay, all these are your solutions. This is how you solve this type of question. All right, I think most of you will have questions on this. Anything that you want to clarify from the working here? Anything that any steps that you are not so sure?
The secant squared 2 phi there equals to what? Can we like move the square first, move the to the other side? Like we write as secant 2 phi equals cert 2, and we make it to 1 over cos, then we make it to 1 over cert 2.
1 over cert 2 also can the same meaning.
But if in front of the secant got a number like 3 or something,
okay, so
with
let's
the
say here
answer
got
like
3.
different, and we make it to 2 over 3. Then we move the power to there and become cert 2 over 3. Then we change the denominator and the thing become cert 3 over cert 2. Something.
Same value, it will be the same value.
So we can change whichever first. Or
yeah, whichever first. Yeah, I don't think it won't affect the value, the final value.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Ada asks, if there's no negative 180 in the range and instead it's 0, then there'll be no negative values, right? Correct. You are right. Yeah. The typical one they will give you is like what? 0 to 360 degrees. But you all have to be ready. We went through quite a number of questions, right? When we have negative, and then they give you like some very, very weird angles for this one. So it's the theta, right? If they give you like plus minus something, that one even harder. Okay, so you all just need to look back at all the exercises. Just look at all the cases. The type of question, actually the steps are all the same. Okay, exactly the same. It's just that you all need to be very, very clear on what you all are supposed to do. Okay, all right, we will still go through this later on, okay, when we go through the Trigo again. Right, let's go. The last question. Okay, in this question, you take 2 factors. Which question? This one? Of the equation, then find the solutions. 2 factors of the equation. This one, you mean by factors? I don't understand. What factors? This one. Yeah, factorize it. Okay, because you cannot solve like that. You see, okay, when do you use this also? Okay, you all look over here when I have a trigo equation, right? And then you see over here and here, I got 2 different trigo and I cannot simplify it anymore. Normally, you will find one of it common factor with the other term. Okay, so by right, your first thought will always be trying to make it to only 1 trigo. But you see this one, right? However, I simplify it, also I cannot make it to 1 trigo. I cannot make it to sine, cos, or tangent only. So the second step or the second method to think about is by factorizing it. Okay, but yeah, that's a good question. Okay, so it's really depending on what type of equation. This one can look a bit complex. So you need to get all 6 or 7 answers correct. Okay, question 13. This one, fun one. 8-mark question. Given that f double prime x is equals to 6 bracket 3x plus 4, negative 1 over 2, f prime 4 is equals to 18, and then f4 is equals to 512 over 9. Okay, find fx. Okay, so this one, what we need to do is we need to integrate it from f double prime x, we go up, become f prime x, we go up again, become x. Okay, what we need to remember is that every time when you integrate it, you will get a plus c, okay, the arbitrary constant, because sometimes there might be a value, right? That's why they give you some values to sub in. Okay, so all you need to know, number 1, you need to know how to integrate from here first. Okay, 6 bracket 3x plus 4 power negative 1 over 2. This one will be your integration for chain rule. Almost forgot what prime. Prime is just differentiation. F prime x, okay, f prime x is equals to 6 3x plus 4 power 1 over 2 over 1 over 2, then you differentiate the bracket inside and divide it, you get 3. Okay, then plus c. Okay, then we sub in f prime 4, which is equals to 18. Okay, you all see the green color one? So I'm going to sub in 4 into the equation, so it becomes 6, 3 times 4 plus 4, 1 over 2 over, okay, can we simplify the top one first? Okay, this one will be 1. This one will be 2, right? Okay, so I can write this to 4 first. Okay, 4 divided by 1 over 2. This one will become 4. Then plus c equals to 18. Okay, now we are looking at the green color now. Simplify it. 4, 16, 1 over 2 plus c equals to 18. 16 plus c will be equals to 18. Then c will be equals to 2. Okay, so your f prime x is actually 4, 3x plus 4, 1 over 2 plus 2. Okay, so this is your dy over dx or f prime x. And then we integrate again. Fx will be equals to, okay, this one you will get what? 3x plus 4 to the power of 3 over 2, 4. Then you divide by 3 over 2 times 3 plus 2x plus c. Okay, so make sure you all recap on how to actually integrate this type of equation. You will simplify it. Okay, we simplify all the values. You get 8 over 9, 3x plus 4 to the power of 3 over 2 plus 2x plus c. Okay, given to us in the question, f4 is equals to 512 over 9. We sub in 4, so 8 over 9, 3 times 4 plus 4, 3 over 2 plus 2 times 4 plus c equals to 512 over 9. Okay, simplify it. Here will be 584 over 9 plus c equals to 512 over 9. Okay, by the way, if you don't want to get confused, you can write this as d also, okay, or c1, c2. Okay, so this other c will be negative 8. Okay, final one, you get fx is equals to 8 over 9, 3x plus 4, 3 over 2 plus 2x minus 8. Okay, 8 marks question. All good. Okay, I think this one not too hard, it's just long. Okay, it's not too hard, but just very, very long. Okay, so this is the end for October-November 2022 paper. Okay, your variant 1-1. I think it's not too bad, this paper. Okay, so later on we'll do a little bit more questions. Okay, so you all got any question? You all can ask later, but this is the end of October-November 2022.